In March of 2020, the North Central men's basketball team advanced to the round of 16 of the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament for just the third time. But due to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, that game was never played. The following year, only 10 games were played, and such a short schedule didn't feel like a true season. This year, the Cardinals were back for a full slate, hoping to pick up where they left off, despite having a very different team than the one 2 wins away from the Final Four.
I think we played 10 games last year. It was just bizarre. I mean, it was like a throwaway year, I always said, because there wasn't a lot of fun. We really had 2 players back that really had game experience through the whole season, and that's Matt and Blaze. And so it was a lot of unknowns out there.
Blaze being Blaze Meredith, the senior and Naperville native who was poised to be the leader of a relatively young squad and set an example with the intensity he brings to every game.
Well, Blaze is definitely one of our best, maybe if not the best, defensive player I've had. And he's somebody that from a defensive standpoint, you can count on him pretty much every night to be guarding the best player on the other team for the most part.
Meredith lived up to expectations, averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds per game, leading the team with 14 blocks and drawing numerous offensive fouls on his way to a second-team all-conference selection. Matt Helwig, however, far exceeded what he or his coaches expected from him. He led the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin in scoring with 24.5 points per game, while also leading the Cardinals in rebounding and assists. He was unanimously voted to the all-conference first team and scored the second most points in a single season ever by a Cardinals men's player.
You know, I don't want to say like I expected to do all this stuff this year. I just wanted to pick up the load just a little bit, but it ended up being, you know, a lot bigger role than I expected.
Never saw that coming ever. I mean, if you knew Matt from high school to where he's at now, it's night and day. I mean, he is a success story from hard work. I mean, he has put in the time, the effort. I couldn't be more proud of what he's done.
But Helwig says he'd rather be a role player on a winning team, as he was in 2020, than the star of one that achieves less, which is part of what's motivated him to return for his final year of eligibility next season.
Doesn't mean a whole lot to me, to be honest with you. 2 years ago, I felt like I was happy playing my role. I mean, I was behind 3 seniors, and you know, I just had to play my role, and I was happy winning.
He's 100% in on team. I mean, he knows that it doesn't, one guy can't carry us, and that's proof.
While Blaze and Matt were the returning and leading contributors, there was no shortage of help from an extensive supporting cast who grew as players throughout the season. None more so than junior guard Shea Couples.
As the second half of the season kind of started, I started you know, find my groove off the bench, and yeah, a couple games there where I just things started clicking in the second half.
Couples also may have had the Cardinals' moment of the season, banking in a three-pointer to help complete a 21-point comeback and win against eventual national runners-up Elmhurst.
Yeah, that was crazy for sure. Probably my craziest game this year. In the first half, I missed some shots, and I just knew, you know, just keep shooting. I mean, the ball's gonna fall. Just stay confident. And yeah, my guys found me, and I was open. I did call bank. Let's just say that.
Additionally, freshmen John Blumeyer and Terrence Moncrief will be looked to as key pieces going forward, with Matt's younger brother Ethan also in line for a bigger role next season. Altogether, Raridon believes this group, led by Matt Helwig, is ready to take a big step together next year.
Well, to me, they grew up a lot. They had to, and you know, when especially freshmen, with those two, Terrence and John. I mean, they have some experience now, but they worked hard. They got better. They continue to improve. They each do something a little bit different for our program. You add Ethan Helwig into the mix, who hasn't played within our system. So to me, he's another freshman. And, you know, I thought he did extremely well. Add Shea Couples into the mix, Brian Johnson. I mean, they all bought into the team concept.
We love being around each other. There's no beef or anything between each other. We love playing with each other on the court. We love each other off the court. I think we have a lot of different personalities, but it all fits in.
The Cardinals reached the CCIW Tournament Championship game by upsetting top seed Illinois Wesleyan, but ultimately fell to Elmhurst in the title game and did not receive an invite to the NCAA tournament. Raridon, who recently stepped down as head coach to return to his alma mater Hastings College, hopes the young team uses that disappointment both as a learning experience and motivation as they head into an offseason sure to be full of hard work.
Hopefully they learn something from this season, just what it takes. This past season was good, but it could be great next year. But it doesn't just happen, and that's something that hopefully they take away from this season.